isn't really going to mean very much. We'll go through the map ban phase. We're going to find out where these teams are going to be playing, and that's going to help us at least get a kind of an idea of how these teams will match up.
Now, interestingly enough, we have not seen a repeated map so far today that is obviously going to break with Clubhouse being played. The only map that we hadn't seen through the first 6 games was Cafe. That includes Theme Park. It had been shown. It was BDS versus Chaos in the last match of the EU game. So it was G2 versus Rogue who played on Clubhouse. It was, I believe, the second match of EU today, and we're going to go back there. So there's been great variety. We still have one more matchup after this in Luminosity versus Space Station Gaming, your defending world champions. And where are they going to play? That's going to be the real question mark. So we'll get ready, and in just a couple minutes we'll get in and we'll see what fun we can have on Clubhouse.
Clubhouse is, in my opinion, a pretty exciting map still. So getting to see it played here, it's going to be pretty interesting. What do you guys think? Who is going to win this match? Why don't you go ahead and tell us? Up on the screen, it's 69% for Reciprocity. Nice. 25% for eUnited, and a 6% draw. So Reciprocity being the edge here, I think that stands to reason, I guess. The rec name is expected to win out here. But as we stated in the lead-in, there's some changes maybe that not everyone's aware of for both of these teams that could seriously upset the result. Whether it's in Reciprocity's favor or in eUnited's favor, well, we don't know yet, but it's a different match with two very different teams.
I expect an awful lot of aggressiveness, and I think EU is going to come just absolutely barging out of the gate with how aggressive they can be. Well, before we get into this matchup, though, I do want to draw attention to Forrest's name right now. He has dropped the Forrest moniker and is instead going by Fofosan XD. So we're just going to call him Forrest.
XD. Yeah, no, we'll stick with Forrest. Hibana, the first ban, the lead-off ban for Team Reciprocity, who start on defense. Thatcher, the follow-up. So light on the hard destruction, light on the hard destruction, or the bandit tricking or Kai tricking denial. It's going to be one for the attacking side.
There goes Wamai. Is that the very first Wamai ban that we've seen? I didn't get to catch all of the EU games today because I was actually out running errands due to real life circumstances, as we'd call it, a pandemic, if you may. So no Wamai is going to be available, so you can stop worrying about some grenades, I guess, kind of. Mira is also going to be in there, which means that both Maestro and Echo are going to be available. Valkyrie's going to be available. So lots of options for the defense here, and they're all going to be Intel operators as well that will be on the board.
So with all that done, we will actually get into the action. So it'll be a basement defense first for Reciprocity. Doc is 6 picked into an Echo. That makes sense. More information on the Echo. He's going to be more useful in actually, denying a plan or just getting your team more, like I said, info. You can also bring that shield, which is going to be very useful. Shields, of course, being very in line with the meta. We've actually barely talked about that, but right now is a great time to talk about it because we're seeing, I think, was that 5 shields being brought by Reciprocity? It's a lot. Fox A bringing 3 of them, and then 1 from Slash and Laxing. So plenty of information, I guess, through the shields in some sort. A lot of delay, a lot of utility soak. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the reasons why you see Ashe, Zofia, and Buck all being played quite frequently. In this case, no Ashe for eUnited. But through the last 2 matches we played, that was a pretty consistent trio to show up on the attacking side.
Yeah, absolutely. Fama's going to be on a roll that we saw him on quite a lot when he was back in Europe playing for Rogue, or, well, rather, I suppose he was playing for Giants Gaming, as he was never on the team when they joined Rogue, so he's going to be on the Maverick play, and of course, with a map like Clubhouse, you're going to need at minimum 2 hard breachers. One of them will usually always be banned, and with a Thatcher ban, you're going to need a Maverick more than ever. Vertical flew a little bit too close to the sun there, and Yeti is going to absolutely consume him. I don't know exactly where the buck is, but he's already up top by the main stairs, about to head down below, and looks like he just shot through the floor and caught Vertical in a bad position, and the Kaid goes down. You know how important those Electric Claws can be in terms of denial, and in fact, it's the only denial on a church defense for the defenders. Those Electric Claws can go up on the hatches, they can go on the church wall, they can span 3 panels, so that church wall might actually be okay. That'll mean that it's a prime target for Alfamo once eUnited is able to get in close enough.
I gotta say that was that's a great start there, and I think it might have just been sheer dumb luck spraying through the floor. I couldn't see any other way. It looks like Yeti kind of just rushed in through the top there, and he's looking for a second. He'll down his opponent down below. It looks like that's Foxe. The nade comes out, and it should secure the kill. No, it doesn't. In fact, it's too delayed. Biologic picks up Foxe, and he's back into the fight. Still damage done. Second nade goes out, and it nets nothing once again to delayed. He needs to cook those nades a little bit longer. They are coming out of the oven raw.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one. I feel like there's so many baking puns you can have in the kitchen here, but...
I know, right?
Right.
We're in the kitchen right now.
I know, and he's got the gingerbread skin on, he's got frag grenades, you can cook it. There's no shortage, right? There's no shortage at all.
Absolutely
anyway,
not.
You've got the fire as well from the Capitao, who is not banned, interestingly enough, because you had to have his role get taken up by that Hibana ban. So hard Destructor off the board as Fofoson XD is going to be inside of blue and look to maybe head down after enough of Reciprocity's been picked apart. Ill-advised peek out from Slash, and he's going to get gunned down from the hatch as Yeti is still in position, watching over the diffuser going down. C4 does not connect, but there you go. It's just an absolute cacophony as down goes Call Out, and Fofoson XD also falls to Biologic. Reciprocity very low on HP, only Laxing is still up. He's got the Yokai drones in position. Can he possibly do anything with it? No, he's going to peek up and go for the kill on his own. Yeti downed from Foxe. Diffuser's down, not planted yet, and man, this is really well done from Reciprocity, even on a tiny bit of HP. They're making it work. It's going to be Bio versus Grixer in a 1v1 with 5 seconds left. Bio just hits the deck, his position given away, but he wins it. Grixer can't land the shots, and Bio on the ground fully exposed. He doesn't need any cover. He's just going to frag out. Welcome back to Pro League Biologic, and Reciprocity takes round number 1.
So in his first round back after a long hiatus, a triple kill, and impact frags, to say the least, Biologic clutching up that first round of this match. So good job to him. Team Reciprocity were on the back foot for the majority of that round. Some serious effort being put in by Foxe on an individual push in through Armory, denying that plant. The most dangerous moment for that round was the one that was capitalized upon by Team Reciprocity. That moment was where you saw Yeti go for the plant. I gotta say, all of those entry kills came from Yeti's hands. And as soon as he got his hands on the diffuser and started planting, that's where things get sketchy. That's where things get real scary for the attacking side. And eUnited just couldn't cover Yeti and allow for that plant. So, good try there for eUnited. They put up a great attack overall. Some entry kills from Yeti going unanswered by Team Reciprocity, putting the defense on the back foot. But then when the site take came in, Reciprocity had just enough denial on that plant to win the round out.
I am surprised that eUnited wasn't able to do more with that. The final 3 players on Rex side were Laxing, who was at full HP as an Echo, likely lost his drones though, and then the 2 remaining members of Reciprocity, which if I remember correctly were Fox and Bio on 1 HP apiece. That could have gone so bad, so bad for them, but it doesn't, and they just hold off, and they win on gun skill alone. Now, a lot of people joke and meme around about Reciprocity and how, well, they are a team with no defined support players. In this case, I guess you don't really need support players if you're all going to frag well. Of course, that's silly because they definitely do have support players. Anywho.
Yeah. Somebody finds themselves there eventually.
Also sounds like Slash is now completely out of shotgun ammo, so he's going to rely solely on that SMG-11. There's a couple different smokes in North America who do this. Retro used to do this when he was on Rec, and Necrox has done it a number of times as well on Rec. So get used to that sort of thing being seen. As Alfama goes to work on the wall very quickly, he needs to be very careful because the wall being shut out the way it is means that it's going to open wide up and their position is going to be given away. Thermite charge goes off, there's the exothermic, it blows wide open, and now you have an opportunity to get on into the site if you're Reciprocity, or rather if you're eUnited.
Trickster challenging an angle in through the garage door. Very dangerous angle to fight. He also does not have an ACOG on his LMG. He could. He's chosen to go with the hollow. Makes you more versatile on that push when you're up close and personal, but on these long angle challenges into Garage Catwalk, for example, it's really not very easy to win that fight. And there's two people from Reciprocity in this position. You could see that there's a heavy investment in Garage, despite only reinforcing one of the Garage panels. This is an interesting mix. Oh, C4 goes out and is caught. Beautiful job by Yeti, hearing it come out and landing the shot before it meets his demise. But there's going to be Foxay. He will take down Forest. So C4 caught, yes, but Foxay gets the kill somewhere else.
That's one of those things where I can't even imagine how pumped up Yeti is right now based off of that one play alone. I would be over the moon if I were him. So, wall entirely opened up, eUnited waiting to just pounce, as there's been a lot of HP lost from Reciprocity, but the only one who's been downed and finished off was Fofos on XD. Down below, Foxay is waiting to strike. There's Yeti, who's been so effective so far. He takes out Vertical. That's a repeat of the previous round. Can the Mozzie spring into action? Is there a Claymore waiting? That is the question that needs to be answered. Meanwhile, Biologic up on the rafters. He's going to have to watch two separate angles, just anticipating what appears to be Grixer sprinting in. Bio missing most of his shots. Down he goes. Foxay springs out. 2 kills for the Mozzie. That question is answered. But Alfama with 2 of his own. He's in the middle of the site, and there's only 10 seconds left. But down below, there's a C4 in hand for Foxay. Can he get it off? No, he's actually lost his C4. So if the plant's going down, you're going to have to rely on pings. That's where you excel if you're Laxing and Foxay. But Laxing gets taken out, and Foxay is there. He takes out Call Out as the plant goes down. And just because of their inability to plant, eUnited is going to squander a second round in a row, despite being in excellent position to hold them off.
Great job there to Foxay individually. I didn't get all of those, but it looked like a 4K, because I think he killed the player that was downed outside of Garage Door. And if that is the case, that would, I believe, yeah, be a 4K. And the only player getting kills on his team, of course, that down was by somebody else. And that's worth keeping in mind. But still, great round to Foxay. Gym is the next bomb site for Reciprocity. And this is a standard cycle so far. We went from the basement to cache and now to gym. It can be either that or cache to basement to gym. That's just how Clubhouse plays. Gym is the ugly child that nobody wants to pat on the back and say, it's all right, you've got this. Because most of the time it doesn't got this. It's a pretty lackluster site when compared to its siblings. So I don't know. It's, unfortunate, but there it is. Reciprocity are going to have to just do their best as they go here. They don't really have a choice. Bar is, let's not talk about the bar. And they'll settle with what they've got.
This is usually the site that people lose as well. So if somebody's going to break here for Reciprocity, it's usually on gym and bedroom.
It can be gym or just the jacuzzi balcony. Sometimes we get that full clear in from cache too into workshop. It depends on, of course, it depends on how the defense sets up, how the attack sizes that setup. And with the lack of a Mozzie or a Mute on Reciprocity, there's going to be pretty easy droning for eUnited. So they're going to be able to gauge this as well as is possible as an attacking team.
This is some fine Maverick working going in here from Alfama just to try and open things up as he takes a tiny bit of damage. And while teams investing on the other side of the map is something that's very commonplace because you want to waste time and utility. It doesn't look like there's much of an entry being attempted from Alfama's marks on the wall. They're just simply designed to give him a peek on in, as the exothermic charge will be the one to clear the way. And with it, there goes the wall. So eUnited can march forward if they so choose. We've got drones stationed inside of construction, but it will be gone as we see Foxay shoot it, then fall off as the Valkyrie will head towards that first floor. Some teams will position somebody down below and then watch the hatch inside of construction, or even possibly try to throw a C4 up when the attack comes in. Is that going to be the case for Reciprocity? Well, we'll find out soon enough, I'm sure, as Rec aren't really running a lot of operators over these 3 rounds to be able to stop drones from being effective at taking information for the attackers.
Located.
Now, eUnited's got control of cache. They're going to turn that into workshop control. They have droned out Foxay downstairs. As you just mentioned, that being an option for eUnited, they're going to make take full advantage of their drone economy. But there's still no kills coming out for eUnited, despite the information they have in abundance. That is, I believe, a spectator bug, so don't worry about that. eUnited, with control of office, Alfama making the push in from workshop, this is going to give them another angle to pressure the bomb site. But Vertical is actually there to fight this back. Down goes Forest and Yeti. Bio's going to retake office. The angle now works for Reciprocity. A rotate here from Foxay. He's going to come up on the flank of his opponent and possibly get some easy flank kills. Depends on how attentive these last 3 eUnited players are being.
Just playing very patiently inside of the garage as he's going to need to get back at some point. Down goes Bio. He gets splattered by Callout as the entry from eUnited seems to be somewhat more composed. But they don't know about Rec's off-site play, especially with that jacuzzi wall still perfectly intact. Down goes one drone, but you're deep inside of sight if you're eUnited, so you got to start picking people apart. And Alfama might be there, but he looks to the right. He doesn't see Slash to the left. Down he goes, Rec in full control. There's one, but not enough, as it's a collapse from Reciprocity and a collapse as well for eUnited, but not the kind of collapse you want. 3 in a row for Rec. They're perfect on defense on Clubhouse. They've at least tied the first half already, and that is quite an accomplishment.
Great job there to Reciprocity, that's for sure. That was probably their most composed round so far. The least chance for eUnited, I guess I should say, because the first round eUnited looked in great form. They had the control of a plant spot. They were going for a plant. They almost got it. So very close. Yeti was on fire. Second round, eUnited, also same situation, different bomb site. It looks like they're gonna get that plant down. And in 2v2, they might be able to cover, but just barely don't have enough time. And when that plant got stopped, they couldn't recover the round because it was on 000. And in that third round, well, Reciprocity did give up office. To be fair, eUnited got close to the bomb site. But this time, Reciprocity were more on their toes and stopped the attack directly. They managed to push into the attack, win the gunfights that were necessary, and just take control of the round. So it's gotten worse and worse as time has gone by for eUnited on these attacking rounds.
There's a swagger and confidence in eUnited, especially with Yeti's play on those first 2 rounds, and he's somebody who's going to come up an awful lot whenever you talk about eUnited for the way that he plays, as aggressive as he does, and he's usually the one that's making space for his team. Him and Grixer are usually tasked as the playmakers on eUnited. If either of them are incapable of doing too much, then the rest of the team can stall out. In this instance, you're going to have to rely on the rest of the team and the depth that comes with it, though Callout, unfortunately for him, I believe he had among the worst stats of anybody in North America after the first half of the season. And he's a hard support way back in the old days, if you remember, and I'm sure you will remember, of when supports just didn't really get kills at all. They were literally just on drone, and then they would plant, and then they would die. We were in more of a frag-heavy meta, so obviously supports are capable of adding to the score sheet here, but it's not even just Callout, it's Alfama and Fofos on XD. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. It gets funnier every time I say it. They're going to need to be able to join Yeti and Grixer here as well. And so far, Yeti and Grixer have done a fine job, but 5 kills over 3 rounds, between the two of them, you can pick it up a little bit.
I wonder if Fofos on XD is going to give us a reason to like adopt that, or if it's just gonna. Oh, whoa! What a shot from Foxy! Did he just pre-fire the angle in towards Freezer through the floor? And
it was nasty.
And yeah, a nasty kill. I'm not sure how Foxy got that, but it wasn't a reaction. It was definitely preemptive. Great job to him. Great read on Yeti, who, as you stated, was one of the standout players for the first 2 rounds. Now not going to be able to play in this 4th round. That's dangerous for United. They have gotten control of Kitchen, at least, and they're going to be able to turn that into an open Kitchen dropdown because they've got Alfalma on the Maverick, assuming he has enough of his blowtorch. We don't know that he does. Call Out could also rotate over if he's got the exothermic, rather, and he does. The Electro Claw from the Kaid is dealt with by a nade, and there goes the drop. So now, a well-established attack here for eUnited, and they can go for an execute, the same one we saw in round number 1, and attempt that plant. But I think Reciprocity is much more ready for it this time around.
Oh, absolutely. And with a shot like that we saw from Foxay, eUnited is likely getting called out for doing the same thing before that they did the last time around. This is a very challenging spot for them to find themselves in. Now, they've got intel if they really require it with 30 seconds left. That's about the time that you're going to want to begin to pull this execute off. But they look a little rudderless, and a big part of that is that you haven't been able to accomplish a single thing on Rec. You don't have an IQ on the board, so those yokai drones are very likely still in play. You've likely got the Toxic Babes still up as well. C4's in hand. There's so much that could be working here. Foxay with kill number 2. He's going to get hit with the Concussion Blast. He downs 1. Alfama is there with 2 kills as the Maverick is just inside of the back of the site. Fofoson XD with another, but there's the TCSG of Vertical to continue to do good work. The yokai drone is still up, and all Laxing needs to do is knock him out, but the clock will strike 0 before the Zofia, who withstands, can get into position. It's an absolute calamity on the bomb site, but that's 4 in a row for Rec. They are proving their worth, and they have now indisputably won their defense. How high can they set this bar for eUnited to clear when we inevitably switch sides?
It's looking like it's going to be pretty high, Parker. The big deal here is that Reciprocity not only just won that round decently confidently, I would say they were in full control. They had that yokai drone. There was nothing eUnited was going to be able to do to stop that. Not only that, though, it was that gym defense being successful. That's the real kicker for Team Reciprocity. That's what's going to put them in such a dominant position. Because as you said when we were on it, that is the low-hanging fruit. It's your gym. And we're going to get there again if Reciprocity wins this round. But that means, at most, you're likely to win 1 round out of a half. And even on Clubhouse, it being a defensive-sided map, that's not great for eUnited. It's a terrible spot for them to find themselves. Right now, if you take a look at the scoreboard, Alfalma, the only one really contributing serious numbers in terms of kills on eUnited, and he's got 6.
It's impressive stuff. So I like that you called it. I like that you called it low-hanging fruit, by the way, with the gym bedroom. And I mean, it was what? It came down to a 2v1, I believe, if my numbers are correct. I mean, that was 2 rounds ago, so it's not always something that you remember the exact ins and outs of how a round finished. But now you have the harder task of taking probably the most defendable site for a lot of teams in the way that they play it. And the one thing that is going to work very well for eUnited is that if you want garage control, your Capitao is going to be exceptionally strong. And I mean, they banned the Wamai against Team Reciprocity. Why? Because they were probably going to run the cap every single time. As you know, Jaeger does not stop Capitao's arrows from going off, whereas Wamai's magnets do. And if not stop, they at least reposition them. It was very smart of eUnited, but I don't think the Capitao has really been anywhere near as effective as they wanted it to be. So the Wamai ban that was designed to essentially handcuff Reciprocity isn't really doing that right now.
Actually a really good point, Parker, because we haven't seen those Capitao bolts actually seriously influence the round. And on a map like Clubhouse that is as rigid as it is, that is a really odd statement. Like, that should not be happening. Let's be clear about that. It is definitely a pitfall for eUnited and a mistake that they're committing, an opportunity they're missing out on. However you want to call it, it's bad. We're going to see the server wall get opened up here by Callout. Grixter will get Laxing downstairs. So there you go. eUnited put up the initial kill, and they'll be able to maybe turn that into more. Half the round transpired, just a little over, actually, and United's still not very close to actually executing on the bomb site. Curious how they're going to make this work with only a minute to go.
That's what you like to see. Only one opening duel for United was won, and it was in the very first round. Of course, it didn't really matter all that much, as we're going to see it rotate from Grixer. He's got time with 1 minute left to try and get on in, as Foxy's taking quite a bit of damage too. We'd see force from below from Reciprocity in the previous round. Will they be able to pull that off yet again? Biologic taking quite a lot of damage from the fire arrow, and there you go, the Capitao proving his worth. The Yokais will remain up, but you're not going to see them knock anybody out of the plant. So the post-plant, or the plant denial that's going to come in, is going to be solely on the C4 of Foxy or the smokes of Slash, if he can get there, at least. Out goes one, and it's going to be onto the opening that was created on the CCTV wall. Consistently being droned is vertical from above. He's going to get shot at from 2 angles, and if he times this right, he might be able to snap onto 2 heads, but he's in a significant amount of trouble. He's going to get pressured and can't be spotted for the time being. He's just going to continue to waste time. Grixer fells him, a 5v2 with eUnited, able to do some good work. Down below is the Mozzie. C4 in hand, shotgun out, but they collapse perfectly, and Foxy gets caught from below. A flawless round from eUnited. That's a good way to set the tone as we close in on the second half. Very well played, as Alfama was down there, and, well, eUnited finds their very first round.
Big win there for eUnited. It does, however, mean that Reciprocity gets to defend for the final round of the second half. Cash, but they're not going to. They're going to go to Gym. That's different. So they will opt into a Gym defense, regardless of Cash being available. I guess they're just not feeling comfortable on Cash after a round like the one we just witnessed, and I can understand that. It was a pretty one-sided affair. It was a flawless round after all for eUnited. The most that Reciprocity got was a down, which is not enough, of course. So, hey, go to Gym. And I think, I remember the first Gym defense for Reciprocity was probably their best round at that point. When we were just 3 rounds in, they went here, and the first 2 rounds, Reciprocity clutched up hard and barely won it. This round, when they defended Gym last time, I mean, it was pretty one-sided. I mean, well, not entirely so, but the most one-sided round we had seen from Reciprocity so far. So this could be a really smart decision from Reciprocity. This could put them in that 5-1 spot, and that's really, really comfortable if you're Reciprocity.
You're literally 1 round away from a draw, which, would be ideal. Both of these teams inhabit a similar space right now in the standings, both being 4 and 5. Every single matchup today, with the exception of SSG versus Luminosity, are against teams that are right next to each other in the standings. You had the 7th and 8th place teams, you had the 1st and 2nd place teams, and now you have the 4th and 5th. The 3rd and 6th place teams are in a very final matchup, but what these matches mean is an opportunity for you to literally continue to put distance between yourself and what at this time is your greatest foe, given the fact that you are sharing a place on the standings with one another. For Rec, in what is going to be a race to the finish for these teams to catch up to TSM, who are continuing their reign of terror, for Reciprocity, this is more of an opportunity to catch up to Dark Zero, and you're going to need to basically go perfect if you want to be able to get to the numbers that TSM are at. eUnited as a team is still going to try to find their footing, given the fact that Alfama is getting, real game experience with eUnited now, because you can attest to this. Scrims are not always a perfect reflection of the way somebody fits in a team's composition.
Yeah, no, when you actually get into a match and things start mattering, it's entirely different. I mean, your teammates will play differently, the strategies will be different, you'll play differently, everything's so different. So yeah, real game experience. Alfama is definitely getting a lot of that right now, and I'm sure he's very interested in what he's learning. He is also the top performer for United, as far as I can tell. So that's good for him. At least he's not having a bad first showing. There were a lot of question marks around Reed and Alfama, given Reed's performance during his substitution, but I think that Alfama is proving his worth here. He's doing a really great job for his first match with this team.
Alfama has always been an extraordinary player. I was obviously a fan of his play when he was on Rogue slash Giant slash LFO slash Listream. However, I mean, I was very curious as to how he would fit onto this eUnited squad, and so far so good. I mean, his Maverick work has been fine. He's largely been on flank watch from what I've seen, and other than that one time on basement when he just sprang into the actual site, which was an impressive thing for him to do. But this round in particular, it's not just Alfama, it's all of eUnited have been quite sluggish. They are just awaiting as they know that they've got a couple targets nearby. Can't really do all that much as Forrest pushes up or Fofos on XD. There's one more as well on the hatch, and that's Biologic with the Alda in hand, doing quite a bit of damage as Grixer falls. Down he goes. Vertical gets the very first kill, but Alfama was in hot pursuit of Vertical, so there is a refrag. It's going to be a tough spot for the Maestro to be in. Some damage done. He's going to try to get away. No shot in the back. A missed opportunity as it's a rotate, but Slash misses the shots, and Yeti and Forrest come alive, giving eUnited a numbers advantage with just under 20 seconds left to go. Down below is Laxing. He doesn't have a Nitro Cell in hand, but there's still Yokais up from Fox. He can see them and is going to give the calls where needed. If they go for a ping, then Laxing can spray through the floors. Every bit above him is totally penetrable, so he can do some serious damage. One drops, he finds him. Down below, he'll get the down. Beautiful play from Reciprocity, and very simple when there's a Yokai still up. Rec knows a thing or two, Michael, about Yokais being your undoing, and while eUnited now has that same understanding. A 5-1 split for Rec as we swap sides.
Great job and great teamwork from Rec, as you said. So 5-1 on the first half. That's well, I mean, it's not as comfortable as you can be, but it's darn near close, as you're just that one round away from getting match point. And at that point, well, you get that guaranteed 1 point for the standings. Great job to Rec, like I said. Hack from eUnited. Very similar to one that we were seeing from TSM in the previous match today. And what I mean by that is they did the same thing that TSM did to Dark Zero, which was that 20-second panic. I guess I'm just going to call it that the defenders usually have. Is it about 20 seconds left in the round? The defenders assume that the attackers are going to start acting in a certain way. That is to say, they're going to start taking. And TSM did this to DZ, would stall out their attack for an extra 5 to 6 seconds coming up to the end of a round before they executed, and then they would catch Dark Zero rotating. eUnited did that same exact thing to Reciprocity just now. Reciprocity had, Reciprocity managed to trip up eUnited. Okay, sorry. eUnited did it, it didn't work. They managed to get control of the site, they started their planting, but because of the Yokai drones and the limited amount of time, it was really easy for Laxing to deny the plant from below. So it's cool to see that eUnited are bringing out stuff like that. Unfortunately for them, they weren't able to get the plant, they weren't able to secure the round, and it was a pretty uncomfortable position.
So, you swap sides, and what do we see immediately? Well, from Rec, they've got basically the same lineup coming out that we saw from eUnited. Nothing really all that strange. Nobody from EU is going to actively bandit trick this, though there's an Electric Claw that can be tossed out at some point. And there goes the wall. Very limited contest on this very first defense. Upstairs on cache CCTV for eUnited. You've got your anchors in place, C4s, possibly 4 C4s on the board, but I very much doubt that, as Yeti is likely bringing impacts, Alfama might be bringing barbed wire, or Callout might be bringing a bulletproof camera. We can see if at some point the feed gets popped open, but it doesn't really matter what you have. Grixer down below, guns down Fox, a goodbye to the Buck as he enters without a drone.
So, eUnited putting themselves up one man in this first half, first round of the second half. That's a great position for them. They've also done some damage to Biologic. Reciprocity's not out of this, of course. Got to work some magic here if they want to have a chance of taking the win. Right now, the focus seems to be pretty simple. It's a garage and server wall take. Nothing too magical. Is that an impact right onto Biologic? But it's a rush into sight. Slash will get one. Alfama stops the other. And Yeti as well with the TCSG-12 in that garage, picking up 2. Laxing coming up from the basement, and he's a little bit late to the party. A little bit. But he could still do something with this. He'll get Yeti on the staircase. There's another player on that staircase. That's Fofos on XD. See if he's going to get picked off as well. Laxing might not be aware of his position, but the Tracer should have given it away. Looking through the holes, trying to make a play happen. May as well. There's 40 seconds to go. He doesn't need to rush himself.
I still can't believe we're saying his name, Fofos on XD.
X.
I can't believe it. XD, my mistake. There's a fire arrow as well at the top of red. Laxing is a dead man walking at this point. Pulls out the crossbow, and there you go. Stop the bleeding. Alfama guns him down. eUnited get their very first victory on defense, and their second in the last 3 rounds. They're going to need a couple more of those because Rec are so close to being able to put this on match point.
Yeah, I mean, they are, but this could very easily shape up to be just defensive landslide. We've seen that so many times on Clubhouse. And it's not the only map that's like that sometimes. It depends on the teams that are matching up against each other. With eUnited Reciprocity being as close as they are, it's entirely possible that this just, turns into a 5-1 for eUnited on the second half. And we go to a draw. Anything could happen, and I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. That last attack round, Reciprocity really didn't accomplish very much. They went for a rush strategy while Laxing was in the basement. So that isn't the greatest call. They were also a man down at that point, so they needed all hands on deck if they wanted to go for an attack leg. And they didn't have all hands on deck. It didn't work out very well for them, and, well, it was a pretty one-sided affair for eUnited. So go to the basement for the next bomb site. Typical stuff. We'll see if history repeats itself, or if Reciprocity are going to have some kind of attack strategy more attuned to eUnited on this site.
10 seconds left.
I think that these teams are running basically the same thing here on Clubhouse. We really haven't seen that much of a difference between them. I mean, maybe there was a Valkyrie last time. There's no Valkyrie this time. We're not seeing much of an adventure on that second floor on the roam down below, as some teams would do. Space Station, obviously the most notable team on Clubhouse who likes to do that, with a Vigil, a Mozzie, a Mute, and possibly even a Castle. But you go really all in on that strategy, and if things fall apart, well, you've got usually one person on site at that point, so not exactly ideal if you can't roam successfully. And I don't know how confident eUnited is with this roam. It's basically, we see Vertical going in blind. He's gotten drone down to blue, but if somebody pushes from garage, there's definitely a blind spot there, as Biologic's being called to action near garage door as well. So 2 members of Rec will be assembling nearby. That's just a glitch. The drone is not actually in space. We promise.
Yeah, it's just a spectator bug. The players see an actual drone, I'm pretty sure. We're seeing it replicated over and over again. Now, the attack has got top floors control, and I don't think there are any roamers, at least anymore, for eUnited. So an anchor focus setup. I can see at least 4 of them through the outlines in the floor. And they're going to start opening up those drop downs. Once the drops are opened up, they can really pick and choose where they want to execute. Only thing is of course, you've only got those 2 hard destructors in Maverick and the Thermite, so you have to be careful with your hard destruction. Some old school Maverick tricking going on here. I got really Maverick tricking, just old school Maverick opening the hatch in the way that Biologic is doing this.
Took a bit of damage for it too, as you can hear. Great catch from Vertical. My, onto Yeti, that's a hell of a shot. And not one that you see a lot of players be able to pull off. That's a big part of why Vertical was one of CGG's 10 players of the year last year. Or I guess technically for this year as well. He was number 10, actually.
Yeah.
Very well played, and great reflexes. Sorry?
Yeah. Sorry. He won it this year for last year.
That's correct. Yes, and he finished 10th overall, but Yeti gone from action, as Rec will be able to find their footing and continue onwards, and match point is yours. But look at how slow this is. These are some of the slowest takes we've seen on Clubhouse in ages, Michael. These teams are just not blinking, and I honestly think it's that the attacks are slow because they don't know what to do. And you see eUnited, they don't have any drone denial. They don't have any intel denial. Another kill, though, will come out for Rec because they're trying to wait out the smoke. They got 20 seconds to go as Laxing finds a kill onto Fofos on XD. There go the fire arrows, and they'll continue to spread. Watching the doorway to the right, one member of eUnited that's a blind spot, but it's answered back by Laxing, and Foxay is there as well, and Reciprocity managed to take the site in swift order, and with it, a single point onto the standings, as at worst, they'll draw.
Great job to Reciprocity. So, the execution there, as you said, very slow, glacial even, but methodical at the same time. And you got to appreciate that from Reciprocity. They were very careful with their clear. They also got a little lucky, though. Here and there were some moments of just sheer luck. For example, Fofosan XD managed to make his way into Garage, which could have opened up a flank and punished Reciprocity on the execution. But from that Garage position, I don't think he really accomplished very much. Not as much as there was potential to accomplish. And because of that, the anchors of eUnited felt really pressured by the push that came from Blue. And, well, the Reciprocity execution having 2-man up already from the entry kills just collapsed into the site and took the round. So, to the basement. eUnited not going to go to gym in the same way, in the same confident manner that Reciprocity did after their first loss. And we'll see if eUnited can win it the second time around. What are they doing? They were all just kind of running around the staircase. That was...
They're here for a good time.
Remember when you said you're not sure if they know what they're doing on the attacking side? It might be a little bit the same on the defense, too. There's some things to note here. One, it's going to be a roam. 2, there's a lot of drops not reinforced. So 3, that opens up for like the opportunity for Reciprocity to go for a side rush. Because there's only 2 anchors right now.
If you read this correctly and push the site, yeah, that could be a smart play here. And we've seen teams do this on Clubhouse before, where they'll just hit blue and dive right in. A team can find it very challenging to rebuff it. And the question is Rec going to be able to spot that or not? Well, no, blue hatch is solid, so you're going to have to take care of it if you're the Thermite or the Maverick. Usually that's where Biologic would go to work. We'll see if you can get there. But the one thing that Rec is doing is they're going for an all 3 level clear at the same time, except for the basement, really, and Alfama roaming on Legion, who's been nerfed quite substantially, but you're still going to run him if you're EU, and you give up that first kill. And it's going to be relaxing as he looks to catch fire. The Capital that was playing inside of stock, 2 minutes left on the round.
That's a big kill, because the whole idea for this roam for United is, oh, guys, Reciprocity beat us on attack of this site last round with only a few seconds left in the round. They had to rush it at the end. So if we roam, we can delay them, and then when the site take comes out, well, we'll win on time alone. That's the idea for United, but if you're losing players on that roam so early on, then it's the idea, well, it doesn't work. It's null and void.
There's another from Laxing. He's putting in good work right now, and he is single-handedly picking apart eUnited as they're not really able to do much to answer back. Laxing can be a very scary foe when he plays as confidently as he has been. Hatch is open and control on that first floor as Rec look to drop, and will do so. Or Biologic, in this case, will be the one to drop. He's sitting next to a mute jammer, and he can work his magic on the wall to open it up as best as he can. We see that there's 2 people positioned inside of Church, and then another over inside of Blue. Just under a minute left for Rec here to make something happen, as they've already gotten a numbers advantage quite substantially.
They're going to be able to open up that Church wall. This could be the beginning of the end. Fofosan opens up an angle, but can't win the fight against Slash. Foxay returns fire and gets that kill. It's a rotate, a different attack now entirely after Fofosan opens up Armory. The collapse coming in for Reciprocity is working great, but Callout will get 1 and the diffuser over by Moto. He's got a shotgun, but he's going to have to hold out against 4 people. There's another. Callout with the second kill. He knows the diffuser's down. He's going to rotate above it to use the drop down. This could be advantageous. Slash is also down on the floor, so this is a 1v3 until Slash gets picked up. There it is. But only a few seconds. The Firebolt's working for Callout right now. Diffuser spotted. He's going to hold on to this from above. There's another kill very easily. Shotgun out, but what a shot! Incredible! Laxing clutching up big for Reciprocity, and they will take the map around that Callout nearly won.
Oh my god, what a shot that was. Holy smokes, that was nice.
Yeah. That was big from Laxing. I mean, just wow.
That was a gorgeous shot. Just the top of the head. That's it. And Rec walk away from that one after